Welcome to the University of Melbourne. My name is Michael Davin. I'm Professor of Accounting and Business Information Systems. Accounting, it's in your future. Are you ready for the challenge? Accounting's not what you think it is. It's not just about numbers. It's not boring. It's actually exciting, interesting, and it's not just for nerds with no social skills. So why study accounting? Well, money, good jobs. What more could you want? Accounting, 13% growth expected for accountants over the next 5 years in Australia. 10,000 jobs a year for accounting graduates foreseen over the next 5 years. 2 different surveys. 14% of businesses are having difficulty hiring accountants and expected to do so over the next 3 years. There's demand, there's jobs, but what do they pay? Starting graduates in financial accounting can make as much as $70,000 to $90,000 a year. That's pretty good for a graduate, and it's only likely to increase. Accounting's not going away, job possibilities are just changing and becoming more interesting. You might become a consultant, a management accountant, a business analyst, an investment analyst, a tax consultant. Range of different roles on graduation. As you progress through your career, perhaps you'll become an investment manager, a risk manager, a mergers and acquisitions specialist. Ultimately, you might become a CEO or a CFO or a chief risk officer, a partner in a major accounting firm, a company director, or maybe even a professor. Who knows? Accounting, it's not boring. It's pervasive. It's everywhere. It is what business is about. So let's have a look at how accounting is everywhere, how it's in business, and how it's going to affect you. Most of you will come to campus via public transport. Public transport? Mikey, $1.5 billion for a ticketing system. That's what the government pays. My gosh, $1.5 billion. Think of how many trams and trains they could have bought to make your ride much more comfortable, and they spend it on a ticketing system. Why did they do that? We have multiple companies involved in selling tickets, in running the trains, in running the trams, in running the buses. With so many different companies, how do we share the revenue? It's an accounting question. So that's why we needed a new ticketing system. Did they spend too much on it? Probably. But think about this. Maybe in a few years' time, if you do an accounting degree, you can be part of the $1.5 billion or even more that replaces the Mikey system. This is a good example of where accounting is pervasive. It's there every day as you come to campus. This is an aspect of what we call management accounting. Financial scandals are so common now, they're almost not news. Banks losing $100 million there, $100 million somewhere else, $360 million there, losing customer money, losing some of their own money. All these financial scandals don't seem to go away. It's an accounting problem. It's not just a finance problem, it's an accounting problem. It's about the incentives and performance measures and controls we put on these traders, these financial analysts, these investment decision makers, these people within these operations. It's an accounting problem, and it falls within the disciplines of financial and management accounting and also audit and assurance to ensure that we are doing the right thing in those businesses and that the financial reports are capturing what's going on and that we're not cutting corners. And that's where accounting is pervasive. It's there everywhere. It's even there in the environment. So we're running research projects on carbon accounting with the Royal Botanic Gardens. If you go and catch a plane, often you'll get asked, do you want to spend a little extra and make your flight carbon neutral? I had the situation a couple of weeks ago when I was taking a flight. And I had to ask myself, how do I know that this money that I'm going to pay to go carbon neutral is actually going to plant trees and isn't just going into the profits of the airline? That's an accounting problem. So accounting is helping us understand what the economic impact is of our investments in being carbon neutral. And ensuring the reliability of that is where auditing and insurance comes into play. Now, if that's not enough to start to care about that accounting's there in climate change, what about healthcare? Accounting is critical in healthcare. How does our government decide how much money to give to a hospital to support a community? Well, in Victoria, we use an activity-based funding model, and you'll learn about that in your later cost management and enterprise performance management subjects if you continue with accounting. But what if that accounting is wrong? what if people don't understand what that means? And my local hospital doesn't then end up with enough resources and staff. And, because I've been eating too many Big Macs and put on too much weight, I have a heart attack. I go to the emergency room. I don't get the full and proper care that I should, and I die because that hospital wasn't funded right, because the accounting wasn't done right. Accounting, it's a life and death matter. Now you care about it, don't you? So accounting, it's everywhere. It's business. It's not just about numbers. It's about business decisions. It's about how we run a business successfully. It's about the operating decisions we make, the management decisions we make, the buying and selling decisions we make, the hiring and firing decisions we make, the people, the processes, the resources that we combine in the business. We want to describe this economic activity so we can make better decisions about what to do in the future. And that's what accounting is. It's the science of measurement. How do we measure and describe this economic activity of the business, and a range of various activities that we engage in? And then how do we communicate that effectively to enable savvy business decision making? And if you don't have mastery of what that accounting information means, then someone is going to push you around. Someone's going to be able to say, hey, the numbers say this. But if you don't understand, you won't realise that the numbers could mean something very different. So you need to understand and master these numbers so that you can be the savvy business decision maker. It's not what the numbers are themselves, it's what they mean. Accounting is business. In medicine, we talk about evidence-based medical decision making, and accounting is the evidence of what we use in our business decision making. Accounting is the evidence base for business decision making. So how do you start your accounting career? How do you start your business career? It is a foundation, whatever business discipline you choose to go into. Our first unit is accounting reports and analysis, and that really is about how we use accounting information to make decisions. So it's not about the mechanics of how we develop the information, other than what you need to know to understand what it might mean. How do I read a set of financial statements? What does profit really mean? What are assets? It's not often what you think it is. How do I really understand and compare this business to a prior year of that business or to another business? How do I know where we're making money? That's what we'll look at in accounting reports and analysis. We have both accountants and non-accountants in that class. It's a breadth available subject as well, and gives that foundation. If you find accounting interesting, which may surprise you, but you will, then you might like to go on and to intro financial accounting, where we get into a little bit more of the technical judgments that are around that. And I use the word judgment very selectively here, because judgment is a key part of accounting. It's not formulaic. Yes, there's numbers here, but it's about what the numbers mean, and that requires judgment, both in deciding how to describe what's happening in the economics of the business and also understanding and interpreting them into action for the business. That's our foundational first year, foundation for any business career, but a foundation also for a major in accounting. Accounting's not what you think it is. It's much more exciting. It's not just about numbers, it's about people and decisions. It's about making businesses successful. It's about leading, not following. I hope you find accounting interesting too, and I hope to see you in accounting and reports and analysis soon.